welcome to Books and Brews. My name's Jo, and this is the fourth instalment of the Bird and Blend Tea Advent Calendar. So if you've not watched the other ones, please go check them out. The parts 1, 2 and 3 are split up. So we are starting on day 19 in this one, and we'll run through to Christmas Eve. So without further ado, we will try and open number 19 and put it out, give it a sniff, see if I can guess what it is, and then give it a brew and see what it tastes like. Sorry, it's just the dog keeps moving on the chair, so if I giggle, that's that. It definitely smells fruity. I think it might be another fruit infusion like what we had yesterday, but we shall give it a check and see, and I'm probably going to be miles wrong. Oh, so it's a herbal infusion. It is called Dozy Girl, which is caramel, lavender and rose. I haven't been a fan of the lavender ones before now, but we'll give it a brew and see what it's like. Okay, so we have brewed the Dozy Girl. I'm not giving it a smell test yet or anything. I'm not 100% convinced on this because every other one that I've had this lavender, I've not been able to finish the cup because it's just not been something that's been for me. But we shall give it a sniff and a taste and see what it's like. Oh, the lavender is so strong. I know some people obviously love lavender tea because there's loads of it, but it's just not one that appeals to me. I can only taste the lavender. I can't taste anything else in it. I don't know if any of the other ones are strong enough to come through, but I mean, there's meant to be chamomile, lemon, rose, hibiscus, 2 different types of lemon actually. So I would have hoped that I could taste other things, but the lavender just is such an overpowering flavour for me that it's definitely not one I would choose to buy or really drink. But I mean, it's probably floats the boats for some people, but it's definitely not one for me. Okay, so we are on to day 20, so we are on the final stretch, the final 4 videos, or days to do videos on. So we shall pull it out and give it a sniff and see what we think. I'm hoping for some more Christmas smell scents because we had a few at the start and then not many going through. I cannot tell about it. Not a clue. Let's just see what it is. Oh, Little Miss Sunshine. So the complete opposite to Christmas, really. It is a perfectly peachy blend to keep you shining inside and out. It's one of their collabs with Mr. Men. They also do a Wallace and Gromit collab as well. It is a fruit infusion with quite a lot of different fruits, so we shall see what it tastes like. Okay, so we have brewed the Little Miss Sunshine fruit infusion. I'm going to give it a sniff and a taste in a minute. I have enjoyed the fruit infusions more than what I enjoyed the herbal infusions from there, just because some of the flavours of the herbal infusions have been a little bit unsure of what they are, or why they were made. Toothpaste. But yeah, so we shall give this one a sniff. I digress. Give it a sniff and then a taste. I think, is that the rose that I'm smelling? The rose hip? Oh no, it's the berries, the sumac berries. I could tell that something was coming through quite strong. I feel like I just did the world's biggest slurp then. I mean, it's nice. I know I've said before, like herbal and fruit infusions fruit infusions were the first kind of teas I started to drink. So it's pretty much like if you have any of like the strawberries and raspberries that you can get in most high street shops, it's pretty much the same as that. It's just a nice fruit tea. But you know, it is nice. I probably wouldn't have picked it up to buy it on my own, but I definitely enjoy drinking it. That's nice. Okay, so we are on day 21, the last few days before Christmas. I know I said that on the 20th. I feel like I'm going to say that every time. We shall give it a smell. Can't pop these open just for one thing. There we go. It's some sort of fruity tea again. Because I season. I'm just gonna see what it is. Oh, fruits of the forage. All your favourite mouth-wateringly juicy berries.
It's another fruit infusion one, and it has a lot of ingredients of different berries. So we shall give this one a brew and see what it tastes like. Okay, so I have brewed the fruits of the forage. I am not sure what I'm going to expect from this because it seems to have a lot of different ingredients. We do have cinnamon and ginger in there though, and cloves and orange, so it could be a little bit Christmassy tasty. I would have expected there to be a bit more Christmas flavours in the tea, especially getting this close to Christmas. I feel like we had a few at the start and now we've kind of just got into generic flavours. But this one might give you a bit of like cosy feelings anyway, so we shall give it a sniff and a taste and see what it's like. Okay, I can smell like the clove and the cinnamon. It smells a bit earthy, which is what you don't normally get from the fruit infusions. Let's just check it was a fruit infusion. So I should give it a taste. It's a weird taste to me. I mean, some people might really like it, but it tastes a bit like it's got too many flavours, so it's not got any flavour, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's just like they've added too many things and then it's taken away any flavour. This will not be one that I'll be getting again. So we are on to day 22, which is the third from the last one. Which over here, we shall give it a pull out to give it a sniff. I can't smell that. I think it might be minty, but I'm miles off. I don't think I've guessed a single one correctly. Spa day. Pamper yourself in a cup. You deserve it. Lemon balm, eucalyptus, ginger, lemon, thyme, rose petals, and spearmint. So there's a bit of mint in there. It was not wrong completely. Let's go give it a brew and then see what it tastes like. So we have brewed the Spa Day. It's very green in the tea bag once it's been steeping for a while. It's kind of expanded a lot. I don't know why I did that. I've not done that on any other video, just dripping the tea bag everywhere. But yes, so we shall give it a sniff and then a taste and see what it's like. Okay. Before we started rolling, I said it looks a little bit like someone's put like grass trimmings in there. It smells like when you just cut. It smells like freshly cut grass, which explains all the greenery in the back. Right, let's give it a taste anyway. Ooh. That's actually nicer than what I was expecting. It does still have that undertone of grass. I know that sounds really weird because there is no grass in here. But, you know, like when you're a kid and you're running around and you fall in the ground and you get that weird taste on your mouth, it's got an undertone of that. Which is a very incredible skill to put into a cup of tea. I do feel like the Advent started off so strong with Christmas flavours and now we're kind of getting random ones. Like, sure, the 22nd you might want a spa day to treat yourself ready before Christmas, but I don't think I need it in a cup of tea. I want the gingerbread chais, the Christmassy feelings, not sunny spa day. I don't think this is one I would drink again either. It is the 23rd, which means it's Christmas Eve. Yes, I'm a really big Christmas fan, so Christmas Eve is something that exists in my life. We shall see which one. Look at that. This one is. It doesn't smell Christmassy. I really was really hoping for a Christmas scent. Moondrop Dreams, Dreamy Lemon and Lavender Blend. Yay, another lavender drink. It is a rooibos, which I do like a rooibos tea. I don't like lavender tea though, but we shall see whether the rooibos drowns it out and go give it a brew. Okay, so we have brewed the Moondrop Dreams tea. I'm a little bit in two minds about this one because from going through the advent calendar I have discovered that I really like their rooibos teas, and to the point where I'm considering buying just normal rooibos tea, and I don't normally drink normal tea. But I've also discovered that I really don't like lavender tea. Like, lavender is just not something that I ever want to drink. Smell of it is fair enough, but tasting it, no. So I'm a little bit like, is it going to be really good, or is it going to be really bad, or is it going to be somewhere in the middle that makes it so I can't drink it? But there's only one way to find out, and I'm aware that I'm rambling so that I don't have to taste it. But I can just see all the lavender in there, taunting me. But we shall give it a sniff, and then we shall give it a taste. Okay, so you get the smell of the rooibos a bit more than the lavender, but then the lavender does come through as like a secondary smell and comes through stronger every moment that I am hovering above it. So we shall give it a taste and see what it's like. Okay, so it's the least offensive lavender tea that I've drank in the advent calendar. The other stuff that's in there kind of just gives it a bit of a... I think I've said it the same with some of the other rooibosy ones. It always gives like a custardy taste to it as an aftertaste, which is something I've only just recently started liking in the last year as well. Would I go out and buy it and drink it again? No. Will I be giving this and this one a go? Sure. Lavender's just not for me. Like, if you guys like it, then obviously that's personal taste. Someone's probably screaming at the video right now, wondering what's wrong with me. But yeah, it's just not for me. But we shall hope that day 24 is a nice, festive taste. So we are on day 24, which means we are on Christmas Eve. So I am really hoping that this is going to be a really big, festive taste. I don't even care if it's a repeat of what we've had or whether it's something new that's a nice festive one, but I feel like we had such a big build up at the start and now we've kind of been going for a few of the dregs kind of feeling, so I'm hoping for a Christmas flavour. Without further ado, let's give it a sniff. All I'm smelling is cardboard. I'm not getting much smell. So let's see what it is. Granny Smith. Top secret mystery tea. Oh, so they must do a mystery one, but it is a fruit infusion, which hasn't been a favourite of mine. We have apple, rosehip, hibiscus, calendar petals, and natural flavourings. Not what I was hoping for Christmas Eve. Would have been a nice starter to the thing, but I feel like starting on your secret one probably would have been a bit of a weird technique, but maybe your secret one should have been a Christmas one. But let's go give it a brew. So I have brewed the Granny Smith. Even just smelling the tea bag on its own, you can't really smell much to it. It's not a Christmassy blend, and I know Granny Smith isn't, but if you're doing apple, why is there no cinnamon added to it? Because cinnamon makes you feel Christmas, it will make you feel like an apple pie. I know it would be very similar to the apple strudel, but the strudel's got like a custardy taste to it anyway, so it'll be a bit different. I'm really hoping it tastes nice, but I do feel like it's a little bit underwhelming with Christmas Eve. Let's give it a sniff. That is really, really subtle. I'm aware that my mug does look like I've probably drank some of it already, but it's quite a big mug and I didn't want the flavour to be overpowered and lost, so I only partway filled it, as this mug does sometimes water them down a little bit. I've not been drinking it off camera. Okay, so let's give it a taste. I mean, it does have like that sharpness after you've bitten into a Granny Smith as an aftertaste, but the flavour is just weak. It's not It's not a flavour I would want to end on for Christmas Eve. Like I said, like I wish that there'd been more Christmassy ones. Obviously I do have the caffeine free one, so it may be that the caffeine one has more different flavours on that are available, but I think I would rather have had duplicates of some of the Christmassy ones that you can get in caffeine free than having some of the weird and wonderful flavours that they've done. And I am kind of disappointed in the Granny Smith apple. I hope that this isn't like going to be their new big wonderful flavour for the year, because I don't think it's very nice, unless it's nicer if you make it. But I think if they make it with apple juice, then is that just relying on the flavour of the apple juice rather than the flavour of the tea? Yeah, it's kind of underwhelmed me a little bit. But I will be going through, because I've been making notes of rating them all throughout, and then I'll be checking in before the end of this video just to say my overall thoughts and rating the teas from least favourite to most favourite. But yeah, so that's that done. Here we have all of the teas spread out in order of my least favourite to my favourite and I'm aware there's a lot more in these piles than in the middling ones, but we're going to go through them, just have a rough go over why they are where they are. So I've started at 0.5 and it goes up to 5, but each one outside of them. So these are the 0.5 flavours. We have Starry Night, Dozy Girl, Spearmint Toothpaste, which is my all-time least favourite, and Fruits of the Forage. Most of these are, or these two are, because they've got the lavender in and it kind of altered the taste enough that it just wasn't enjoyable for me to drink. This one was just, it seemed to be there were too many flavours all at once trying to compete, so then it kind of left it a little bit bland. So it was just like a generic any type of fruit tea. You couldn't pick out one flavour more than the others, or at least I couldn't. This is my least favourite out of the entire advent calendar, the Spearmint Toothpaste. I just don't understand why it was ever made into a tea. If you like it, then obviously it's personal preference, but I have not had the urge to ever go back and drink this. But yeah, so they are my least favourite out of the advent calendar. Then we have the ones that I ranked 1 out of 5. We'll start with the reds first. We have Peppermint Hot Cocoa, Moondrop Dreams, Little Miss Sunshine and Spa Day. So 2 of them are herbal infusions. So we'll go through. So Peppermint Hot Cocoa, it just didn't have enough flavour to it. It was a little bit chocolatey, it was a little bit minty. I've got some other Bird and Blend teas that have got the cocoa nibs in it, and it tastes so chocolatey and so nice that this just felt a little bit bland in comparison. So that's why it's quite far down, even though it is quite a seasonal flavour. Moondrop Dreams, again, is one that has lavender in. It's not down there in the 0.5s because with it being the rooibos tea, the rooibos kind of hid it a little bit, but the more I drank it, the stronger the lavender got, and the more I didn't want to drink anymore. I've still got the other tea bag of this one left in there, and I don't know if I'll be going back to it, but I'm sure someone that comes around will probably give it a go and try it. Little Miss Sunshine was a little bit like the Fruits of the Forest. It's another fruit infusion one, which just, it didn't have much to it to the taste. I didn't finish the drink I had of that, and again I've still got the tea bag in there. Some of them, like the Spearmint Toothpaste, I did give a second go because I do like a peppermint tea, but I just didn't like it, so I won't be buying any more of that. And then Spa Day was another one that's just, it was just not for me. It was a little bit, the flavours again were a little bit bland. They didn't come through. There wasn't one flavour that really shone through for me. So again, it was another one that I wasn't overly fussed about having and wouldn't get again. Saying that, this is a really good way of trying a lot of their teas, because I probably would have looked at some of these on the board and gone, oh, that sounds nice, I'll give it a go. So they've saved me a lot of effort of going through a lot. I know which ones I want to go back and rebuy in the store myself. So we've done 0.5 and 1.5, so my one's at a 2 out of 5. There's only 2 of them. We have Deck Chair Dreaming and Granny Smith. So Deck Chair Dreaming was caramel, happy sleepy time tea. It was like a nice cosy drink. There was nothing overly wrong with it, but nothing that really shone out to me. So it's pretty much just in the middling of these ones. Probably could have all just been lumped all together at like 2 or 3 out of 5, but these ones just, I like them a little bit more. Granny Smith, day 24, Christmas Eve. It's so bland. Like, they did this right. They did it right. It's, you get that sharpness when you're drinking it of the aftertaste of like a Granny Smith apple skin. I just don't think Granny Smith on its own is a flavour enough to have. And it's in an advent calendar. It's on like Christmas Eve. Like Granny Smith with cinnamon would have been a nice Christmassy feel. But yeah, no, it just, to say that it was their top secret mystery one, it's not overly tasty. Like, it's just, it needed something more to it to make it a bit more flavourful for me. Right, so 2.5, smack bam in the middle. Yeah, 2.5 out of 5. We have Mellow Yellow and Champagne Supernova. So both of these are herbal infusions. So I know I've got quite a few herbal ones further down, but I wasn't completely hating on herbal teas. Both of these are ones I probably would not have picked up in the shop. I drank both of my yellow mellows, and I still have one more Champagne Supernova to drink at some point, and I will be drinking this one. It was like the nice like spiciness to it. It's really tasty. I just didn't get around on the 23rd or since the 13th or since to drink it again. Mellow Yellow with the turmeric and pineapple. It went really well, and they blended really well. And so I enjoyed this a lot more than what I thought I was going to. When I first pulled it out, I thought it was like, what is that? Because all I thought of was don't eat yellow snow, because it's an advent calendar and it's Christmas time. So, but I've just digressed off. But yeah, so there were my middle ground ones, and then we're going more into the positive ones. So we have 3 out of 5. We have 2 herbal and fruit infusions, which I was banging on about not being a big fan of fruit ones anymore earlier on. So we have the mulled cider and the cherry cola. The mulled cider one, I had in the store. I tasted it. They had it with samples, and they had it with apple juice mixed in. It was warm. It was really nice. The tea that I made at home wasn't quite as nice as it was in the store, which is why it's not higher on my ranking. Because I feel like it felt like they really had to pull off other flavours to embody their own flavouring, whereas I would have wanted this to be that level on its own. Cherry cola bottles, the first few tastes I didn't really get it. I got the cherry, I didn't really get the cola flavouring. But the more I drank it, the more I did enjoy it. I've still got my other one to drink, which at some point over the festive season I will be drinking it. And then, we're getting there. This is probably the most I've talked in a while. We have 3.5. So in these we have Rubus Breakfast Cuppa and Mint Chocolate Rubus. I have discovered a lot in this video, in this month while doing this video, that I do like Rubus tea. I've never had it before now, so I'm quite impressed with myself for really liking them. This one was the one that surprised me most, the Rubus Breakfast Cuppa, because it has no other flavourings. It's just does what it says. It's just the closest to a normal cup of tea that I would probably ever get to. But I really enjoyed it. In fact, I've been eyeing up actual just Rubus teas in some supermarkets, and this is in my basket currently on Bird and Blend, because I keep dabbling and making the sample packs that you can order online, because I've not managed to make it to a shop recently. But hopefully if I get into a store between Christmas and New Year, I will probably end up picking up some more of this, because it was just a really nice tea that hasn't got loads of different flavours to it. And then the mint chocolate Rubus was so much better than the mint chocolate cocoa that we had further down here and earlier in the month. It felt Christmassy. It was quite nice. It was halfway through as well. It was day 12. I've still got one left. I thought I drank both of those. Sorry, I just got really excited. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed this one. You do get like the chocolate and then the peppermint coming through afterwards, which does obviously just do what it says on the tin. Okay, 4 out of 5. We have Irish cream. I'm surprised that was only a 4, to be fair. I really enjoyed this. It was like drinking Baileys effectively, but just a warm Baileys with tea. This is another one again with the rubus that is in my basket, so it's one of the ones that I want to buy when I'm next to the store. I really enjoyed it. It's unusual to have a tea that has coffee taste in it, but it really worked really well. But yeah, I really enjoyed that one. It was really easy and smooth to drink. Then we have 4.5, the most ranked ones. I'm just trying to pull these here so I can grab them. We have buttermint, which was one of the first ones that I ever had from there, so it was going to be high up. Again, it's a herbal infusion on this one. Just take out my display. It actually tastes like you've just got a murray mint and put it in hot water so it's dissolved and drank it. It is so nice, and I would definitely recommend that to anyone that wants to try one. Apple strudel is another one that I've bought and owned from them before. You get like the apple taste and then the cinnamon and then like the pastry taste. This without the pastry taste is what I would have expected from the Granny Smith, wanting like apple to like be warming. It feels very Christmassy and cozy. So I'm a big fan of that one as well. Jammy Dodgers, I should say it without stumbling over it. This is quite high up because they actually make it taste like they have just put a Jammy Dodger in there. It is so nice. I had it, I think this was one of the ones that I tried it with milk the second time rather than without milk, and it was really nice, and it really brought out like the biscuity flavour in it. But yeah, no, all of these ones obviously like my favourite ones are the ones that I'm going to be looking at trying to buy at some point. Ginger beer, I have at day 10. I have that in the kitchen. I'm probably got about 1 cup left out of that one, so this is another one that was a very high one for me. It's not overly Christmassy because it's ginger beer, but with the ginger it's a little bit like a gingerbread, and it tasted quite cosy and was quite festive, so it's quite nice to curl up with that one on the sofa with a book. And then we have rhubarb and custard, which again with the Jammy Dodger is basically they managed to make a rhubarb and custard within that drink. It was so nice, and again it's one of the ones that I know I'm going to go out to try and buy. And then we have my 5 out of 5s. There's only 2 of them. I think some of these probably could have been a 5 out of 5, but I was being quite stern with myself, which is hence why there's the 0.5s. If it was just 1 to 5, it would have been a little bit different. All of them would have been in this final ones, but these 2 are the 2 that really outshone for me. We have gingerbread chai and hot cinnamon. The gingerbread chai was it was day 1. It was so festive. It made you feel ready for Christmas, and it tastes amazing. I was just really, really happy with that one. And then hot cinnamon for me is just really high up because I'm a really big cinnamon fan. And it was just warming and cozy, and it was just really nice to curl up under a blanket with it and sit there with your tea. Right, so we've gone through them. I do have some comments about the advent calendar. So it's a Christmas advent calendar, and there were many that made me think very Christmassy flavours. I have had, because I'm signed up to their newsletter, and you can log in and you can see what the other ones are, so the matcha and the non-caffeine free, or the caffeine tea one. And the caffeine one does have some flavours that I was really hoping for that I didn't know were only in caffeine free from the store, which if I'd known that, I probably would have bought the other advent calendar. So one of their ones for Christmas was Starry Night, not Starry Night, that's that one, Snowball. I really wanted to try that one. It's like coconutty, it makes me like really like cozy. So I was kind of disappointed it wasn't in there. But you can't help that some of them aren't Christmassy. But what I didn't like was you basically got to day 12 and the Christmas flavours stopped, basically. It was like, we started off so festive, and then we kind of just went into what felt like these ones that kind of felt like the dribs and drabs, like the different fruity ones and the Little Miss Sunshine. The closer you got to Christmas is where I would have wanted my Christmas flavours. Like, don't get me wrong, starting off with gingerbread chai was the best idea, because you've day 1, you start of December, you have your Christmas flavours. But they needed to be more spaced out, or I would have been happy with some duplicates. Like day 24 for me should have been a festive one. Even if it was a regurgitation of gingerbread chai, I would have been happier with that rather than a surprise flavour that didn't get me all hyped up ready for Christmas. But obviously that's just my personal preference. I've enjoyed the majority of the teas that I've drank. They've just not felt like they were overly Christmassy. Like every day I was getting ready to open it, being all excited, wanting to know what Christmas flavour I was going to get, and the closer we got it through December, they just were fewer and far between, and then the last couple were just fruit and herbal infusions, and I just kind of missed that Christmassy flavour. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if I should have gone for the caffeine one, or if there's another advent calendar out there that I should have gone for instead. There's definitely a lot more that I'm going to try and buy from here, so it's not like I'm not happy with the teas that I got. I'm already planning my next trip back to Bird and Blend to buy more tea, just probably not these ones. But yeah, but thank you for watching. Hopefully you've made it this far through all of my rambling about every single tea I've drank. But yeah, but thank you anyway, and please remember to like and subscribe, because hopefully there will be some videos going up about some of the books that I've read and other little bits and bobs as we go on.